Hey kiddies, it's Trophy Feature Tuesday once again, and this week we're looking at the pedigreed sci-fi deaths of Bill Paxton. It's one of those things, it creeps up on you, but Bill Paxton is actually really good. I remember when I was younger, I didn't particularly like him outside of, say, Chet from Weird Science, but you look back on his career, which is not to suggest he's dying or anything, but when you look, he's done sort of everything. He's been scientists, he's been cowboys, he's been just about every type of military, he's been religious nuts, he's been polygamists, he's been con men, he's been the people that are conned. It's surprising that the guy actually does have that much range, but pleasantly surprising. And so I've grown to enjoy him a lot more than I did when I was younger. No, I've really grown to like Bill Paxton. I even went as Bill Paxton for Halloween last year. I went to Severin, the southern vampire from Near Dark, which was a really great time. For reasons I forget exactly why, we were talking about him last night at the bar, and somebody asked me if I knew that Bill Paxton has been killed by a Terminator, a Predator, and an alien, and of course I do. Come on. But, I have never actually spoken about it to you. So, that's what we're doing this week. We're going to be going in increasing order of his importance to the movie and or character development. So our menu is going to include The Terminator, Predator 2, and Aliens. The Terminator, the movie that put James Cameron on the map and solidified Arnie's career as a monosyllabic badass robot dude, and who is among the crew, the first bunch of people that he kills in a movie in which he kills an awful lot of people. It's Bill Paxton as a lead punk, and man, Bill Paxton really worked the asshole eyes and the scary stare, and it's fun because he's right next to him, and in part of his gang is the always scary Brian Thompson, but Bill Paxton was buddies with James Cameron and continues to be buddies with James Cameron. I believe they're both from the Roger Corman school of low-budget genre pictures turned, legitimate, mainstream pictures, which is good. The Terminator, having just arrived in the then-present year of 1984, requires his clothes. And Bill Paxton's lead punk, being, a lead punk, basically tells him where to stick it, at which point the Terminator, kills him in a fairly short order. And it's fun, because you can really tell, good storytelling abilities of James Cameron in terms of building up the threat that is the Terminator. At that point in the movie, he just beats them to death. I think the big scary point is he punches through somebody, which is disturbing, but it is, humanly possible, probably, if you're Arnie. I mean, I'm of the generation that still believes that Arnie can lift a car just in real life. Oh, Arnie. But yeah, that was Bill Paxton. What's fun is that this is one of two James Cameron movies that's going to be on here, and it is also one of two sci-fi films that's going to feature Lance Henriksen. And oddly enough, Lance has been killed by both a Terminator and an alien, but he's never been killed by a Predator, despite being the only actor from the earlier series of either Predator or Aliens that was an Alien versus Predator. I believe he was killed by an alien, or he just succumbed to the environment because he was dying, playing an ancestor to the Weyland-Yutani group. But either way, good effort for Lance, but Bill is actually winning in terms of being killed by these famous sci-fi monsters. Next up, we have Stephen Hopkins' Predator 2, the follow-up to the incredible John McTiernan film starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, in which a alien big game hunter comes to Earth to kill people. Set in the then future time of 1997, Danny Glover is a police detective specializing in warring gangs in the middle of LA during a heat wave, and oh no, a predator has come to LA to get some big game. Part of Danny Glover's crew is Lambert, played by Bill Paxton. And Bill is in the movie definitely longer than he was in the Terminator, but not really serving much more purpose than just to say stupid stuff and be laughed at, because this was back before Bill really developed his grown-up sensibilities in movie acting, and so he was playing he was always playing idiots, but sometimes he would play military guys. Then that was about as close as he could get to serious people. Again, Chet, just what an incredible role. I will always picture him as Chet, or as Dane, the sniper from Navy SEALs. It's just wonderful. But we hadn't really developed grown up Tombstone Bill Paxton or Twister Bill Paxton. It was the straight up. Actually, we got a little glimpse of this type of Bill Paxton. I think the last time was his character in True Lies. Also Arnold Schwarzenegger, also James Cameron, playing the sleazy, womanizing car dealer, which was a good time. But Bill Paxton's always good for playing just a complete douchebag. Which is not to say that he is one. He's just, he has a certain type of voice and face that lends itself to it. And it does in this one. Even though he does, sort of die bravely trying to protect Maria Conchita Alonso, who was in The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger. See, 80s action movies, it's all a big wheel of Arnie, and everything kind of goes in, flows into him and out of him. But the Predator attacks them both on the subway, and he tries to take down the Predator, and since he's not Danny Glover in the movie, nope, doesn't even work. Which is nothing against him, because even Gary Busey couldn't do it, because he wasn't Danny Glover, and the movie is starring Danny Glover. It's Danny Glover versus the Predator, and that's the way it is. Poor Bill. Finally, we have Aliens, which is just one of the greatest movies ever made, because it's James Cameron turning the claustrophobic, really scary body horror sci-fi film Alien into a big budget alien action adventure blockbuster. And what I love about it is that neither movie detracts from the other. You can talk about them in comparison to each other, but you can't really compare them because they're such different genres of film and what sort of reaction they're trying to evoke in the audience, which is great. Set in the still future time of 2179, I believe is the year. I think it's 57 years after the first Alien movie. Ripley and a bunch of colonial Marines are being sent to LV-426 to save the colonists, who have inadvertently restarted the spawning process of these xenomorphs in the film. And among the wonderful cast of characters in the Colonial Marines is Hudson, played by Bill Paxton. Right here. Look at my little Bill Paxton. See this face? Yeah. That's the look that's going to be on his face for the majority of the film, at least after everything goes to hell. Oh, love the detail on this. NECA has the license for Aliens, and majority of the people in it. Still no Drake and Vasquez, and since you got Bill Paxton, come on, where's my Chet action figure? I digress. Hudson is a Marine, but if you look at what his actual specialty is, it's computers. He is the nerd of the group. And as a result, he's also the biggest talker. Up until when they actually get onto the planet, he is talking everybody up so much. He's the biggest, the baddest, and there's this. He runs off the list of all the weapons they got, and they're going on an express train straight to hell, going down. Oh, Hudson, adorable. And then everything goes wrong, and he's useless. He is scared shitless. He says the very famous is, "Game over, man, game over." Oh, what an asshole Hudson is. But you know what? I'm being mean. He does put in the work. He doesn't shirk the duty. He tries, along with Vasquez, Hicks, who he is not. It's very important that he is Hudson, That's Hicks. Gorman, Ripley, and Burke, and Newt, and everybody. I'm sorry, I'm just rattling off names of characters in there because it's aliens. Hudson is the first to go in the second real round of death because it's Hudson. He is just not. We need to pare everybody down, so it's just Ripley versus the aliens, and Hudson is not going to survive because he's nowhere near as badass as Vasquez or Hicks, and he's been predominantly comic relief, so he is the first to get pulled underneath the floor. And to his credit, he goes out shooting as many aliens as he possibly can, but to no avail. But we still love him, and I really enjoy him. If Bill Paxton turned into quite a good actor and a great director. If you haven't seen it, Frailty is this spooky little gothic horror, like Midwestern American gothic type of horror movie, starring him as the father of two kids that who purportedly see visions from God. Check it out, because not just him, but you have Powers Booth and Matthew McConaughey. One of the better movies he made in the dark period before The Reconnaissance. But Bill Paxton getting killed by the famous monsters of the 1980s. An alien, a predator, and a Terminator. And we look forward to him being killed by so many more. And I'll see you guys next week.